Sorry, people. No man of income. I'm online. I don't know. There is something happening with our. We can't get to connect and get each other on the same video. And Julienne, her sound system, it's not working. So, sorry about that. Okay. This is not good. Because we're really hoping, well, why we're trying to bring other people in is because we're hoping that we'll have people who are really, who can talk better on culture, but then technology is not, it's not in our favor. It's not working in our favor today. Anyways, I'll just talk on promote your own. It's rather unfortunate that most people, of course, if it's not working well, some people will feel discouraged and log out. But however, I'll just talk on promoting our own today. And right now our hashtag on AGN is promote your own, hashtag promote your own, because we're trying to encourage each other, support each other, and be there for each other. I know, I thank all of you who are live, or the people who came live before and have left. At least it shows you're trying to, you're supporting us. And with it, it's something that is not very common in our community, in our society, in the African community, in the Cameroon context, or we don't turn to encourage each other. If it's just a click on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on Instagram, people don't want to do that because they fear you'll succeed. But at the same time, nobody can take another person's destiny. All of us, we have our paths, we have our goals we want to achieve in life. So you have to continue supporting each other. We have to promote our own people to ensure that at the end of the day, if you've succeeded, how do you want to live like a king and have slaves all around you? That's a bit troubling. But if you are the king, you are making it like the king, and you pull your people up with you, then you have a better society. Then you don't have a burden of having to think about taking care of people, taking care of your cousins, your siblings. No, support them and let them grow like you. So that's basically our goal with the hashtag promote your own, because we intend to support especially our younger ones through mentorship programs. We'll have to mentor them. We'll have a mentorship program where we'll have to link mentees and mentors together, depending on the careers they want to follow. So that's one of the things we are going to do in the near future, to see that we keep promoting our own, we keep supporting our own, and make sure AGN it's reaching its objective and its goals. I'll see something like Julienne is adding. I hope she comes on. Okay. Julienne, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, that's good. Finally, you're the
No,
tech
just
girl.
carry on.
Yeah, so that's basically what we're trying to do. It's a very important thing for us, the hashtag promote your own, because if you don't promote AGN, and we don't need you to promote AGN, basically, people think we want financial. Yeah, we'll need financial support, and in the near future, AGN will get involved. I pray we get that activity that will be an income generating activity for us, where we don't need to go for fundraisers and do all these things. So at the end of the day, AGN, what we need for you is to believe in us. That is what we need. Believe in us first. Listen to us when we're talking to you, because what we're saying is coming from a very deep part. It's coming from an in-depth of our hearts. We believe in this. That is why we are not giving up. And that is why every day I tell Julienne, thank you. I can tell her thank you 10 times a day, because the first day I told her about this, she took it up like it was her own. And she has always been there 100%. And now we are building a team of about 8 directors who are experts in their own field, who believe in philanthropy, who believe in community building, who are people who have the connections we'll need, and who are ready and from day one have been giving us support. So we are making sure that we have a very, very strong team. And another thing I want to tell you people today that I don't want you to get surprised in the future is AGN. I started AGN first in Akom because I was thinking about my community. It is a community I lived in for 4 years. I went to the school in Akom, GHS Akom. So that experience is one of those things that encouraged me to look back at the people I lived with. Look at those conditions. Look at what I can improve with what I have, with the knowledge I have, with the small connection I have. And so that experience helped me a lot. So we want AGN not to grow alone in that Gemba region. We are planning, or one of our goals is partnership. So in the future, AGN will be sending out its tentacles into other communities, training other community leaders who are interested in building their community. So when you see AGN somewhere, maybe in Alatinin, don't get surprised that, oh, you're taking our resources to Alatinin. No. What if we build Akum alone in that region? Akum will stand like the small kingdom. What will happen to the other communities? You have to always bring people, join effort, pull others who are not strong enough, pull others who are not like you, to always come together and build together. Joint effort can change a lot. So Julienne, now you can, I don't know, say any concerning the topic on culture. I don't have a lot about to say on that, but you can throw more light onto that, on how AGN intends to use its network, its vision to to preserve our cultural heritage. And Olivier, I don't know if he's online. Yeah, I can see him watching. If you can also
Yeah. You can
twin in
send a request.
a
You can
request,
send a
and
request now.
yeah, I know
I
you
couldn't
you
do that
have a
because
lot.
I wasn't watching from my phone. So if you can use his phone, there's a request button down.
Oh, okay, so
You need
Olivier, you
to
can
send
also
your
send a
request and then you
request.
can, yeah.
I know you can, when it comes to culture, you can help us with that topic. So Julian, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Elvira, for having me here today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, it's been 2 years. It's been 2 wonderful years so far. AGN has really done so much within 2 years, more than we expected. I mean, when Elvira told me about AGN, that was in March of 2016. It started like a joke. She told me she really wants to do this. It was something really interesting. I was like, yeah, it sounds really interesting. We need to bring a platform where we can bring the Akum people together, where we can hold our hands together, where we can grow together. She told me about a Christmas project that yeah, we should throw some light on the old, the sick, and the handicapped. I was like, yeah, this is really good. I mean, if we want to do something, we need to start at that point. We need to touch the vulnerable people, the old people, the sick people, the handicapped people. These are people who can't afford for themselves. Some are even left back in their homes. They have no one to take care of them. So when I joined in this project, it was something, I would say this is the most fulfilling stuff I've ever had in my life. Like going to that mommy in Songmula, in in Malawi, and then have her say all those stuff. I left with tears because it was so emotional. These are people who are really like grateful for what we are doing. They appreciate the effort. It wasn't really something much, but it's just the concern that counts, knowing that nobody is left behind, knowing that somebody remembers you, knowing that somebody cares for you, somebody cares for your well-being, and then the gratitude, the love. It was really overwhelming. From that moment, I realized we need to do more. It shouldn't end there. We need to do more. And doing more, we have to engage the youth. The youth are really lacking behind. The youth need to step up their game. We have tried to bring them together, but somehow they're really like, they really need to wake up. Like, we try to hold them up, but they still don't believe in AGN. AGN is just getting started. There's a lot more in store. There's a lot more we can do, but we can only do this collectively. We can only do this together. We cannot do it on our own. Yeah. Yeah, so we started, I was on the ground 2016, that was December 2016. We started with the AGN Christmas project. It was really successful. Everybody was talking about AGN. That was when it went viral. Like, something is happening. Some change is coming in Akum, you know. And then we went ahead, we did 2 more projects, and now we are trying to do the needs assessment project. What's this project all about? We are trying to go to that mommy in Malawi, that mommy in Songmola, and ask her, what is the problem? What are the problems you're facing now? How can we help? Where do you want to see Akum in 5 years? Where do you want to see Akum in 10 years? How can we bridge that gap? What is lacking? What change can we bring? That's exactly
And
what we are doing.
Julienne, let me add something to
Yeah.
that. And this project is very important. Why? Because I am in the NGO world. I am an expert when it comes to NGO management. And what I have noticed from my experience is when organizations send people, when you have NGOs in Cameroon, say a German NGO in Cameroon, when they go to Cameroon, if they're going to Akum, they are going with a package already. They are going with a pre-plan, like they already think those people in Akum, maybe what they need is food, but what they need is water. But you don't know, which is always 90% of the is always wrong. 90% of the time, this is always wrong
Right.
because you
Right.
don't give the people the voice to talk. You assume that if somebody is living in Tinela in Akum, their problem must be food. They must have health problems, but might be the only problem is adult education. I'm very surprised this is coming up as one of the main problems the old people, the elder people are facing in Akum. So this needs assessment will unveil all these things and it will make this project a people's project because the people are the ones telling you what their problems are. At the same time, they are giving you possible solutions. They are giving you strategies they've already carried out that has not worked. So now we are taking what they have done or what they are doing. We're going to re-strategize that. Sorry, we're going to build another strategy for that. And I hope, and there will be 80% involved in this project. They will be doing the projects themselves, not AGN. So when
Right.
they do that, they own it, they're in full partnership, they cater for it. And I tell you, when projects are done like that, statistics shows 95% of them are always very successful and they always have a very positive impact in the lives of people. So that's just what I wanted to to add.
Yeah, right. So basically what we've been doing so far is going to every quarter. We get their problems, we get their possible suggestions on how we can solve these problems. And then at the end, what we want to do is kind of analyze them. And if we see that in Nilab, the problem is drinking water. They don't have drinkable water. If it's the same problem in Muchuan everywhere, then we see that that's an urgent need. That is what the people need first. We said that's a problem that occurs almost in every quarter, or 9 out of 12 quarters. That's where we start from. Actually, there are a lot of people who want to help. There are a lot of people who want to do something in the village, but they don't know where exactly to start. So with this assessment project, we will have like a database of projects. What exactly does the people need? Where can you help? Some people they need students who are unable to pay their school fees, but they don't know how to get to these people. They don't know how to get to these students. So with Acom Generation now, with this database of projects, you can come in, you're like, oh, this quarter hasn't got water. I can help in this. I can help bring this water. This school hasn't got a toilet. I can help with this. You understand? But when we just sit vast, we are imagining stuff, you don't know where to start. So somehow with this project, you can bring the projects to life. You can bring the projects to the people.
Yeah,
and you know what
right.
exactly the people need first. You know exactly what the people need first. Yeah. So I think this is a starting point which will go really far. It would really help bring everybody under one umbrella, you know. Nobody should be left behind.
Yeah.
And then one other thing about preserving our cultural heritage. This is something that we need to do. This is something that we need to do everywhere. Like in Germany, we have a Akum meeting, which rotates. We have Akum people. We don't have much, but I mean, when 3 people are gathered together, we can do something. You know, wherever you are, you can start something. You can try to bring the Akum people together. Just meet once every month, maybe once every month or once every 2-3 months. Talk about Akum. Just like try to bring the things to life. Don't let it die down. Like in the USA, Elvira is there. She has there are a lot of Akum people like in the MD area. You can try to bring these children together. Maybe even teach them the days of the week. Like I made a post the other day about the traditional events we have in Akum. I got to learn a lot. I didn't know we had that much. You know, it was something that I also had to learn from. Just those little things, the dialect. That children out here who don't know the dialect. There are children out here who don't know. And this is something we need to teach them. We can't let that die because that's what identifies us. That's where we stand out, you know. So I really want each and every one of us to wake up, to take the lead and do something. We are the future of tomorrow. If we don't do it, who will do it? Our children will grow with the same problems. So we really need to wake up. We're sleeping.
Talking about that, there's one observation I also want to make when it comes to, it's not happening just in Akum, but it's something that I have, since I'm around Akum people, I've observed. And it is this issue of respect. Respect is a culture. I don't care if the person older than you is disrespectful to you. Ignore them. Because we find ourselves in gatherings abroad or maybe in Douala or Yaoundé, and you see the way young people speak to elders. Yes, some of these elders are really, really disrespectful, but does that give you a ticket to be disrespectful to them? No. I don't care if they are that. Ignore them. You be the better person. So these are values that are wiping out. These are values that we ignore, or we think we are in. It's not. We think they are not trending. Now it's all about trend. Like, no, if you're disrespectful to me, I just tell you off. So when you do that and bad things are happening to you, say the bong la anga ndon bu we mo. Yeah.
That's
So
right.
so we need to be very careful the way we do things. Sometimes things are happening in your life and you don't know where they are coming from.
That's
They are
right.
just
Yeah.
very little things. And I know we are very proud people, and I like it because when you're proud, you give yourself a standard. And if you go below that standard, then it is an insult, not just to you, to your family, and to your community. So we need, whatever is happening out here in the world, we need to always preserve our values and respect for our elders, for one another, not necessarily the elders. It's very important for us. I don't know if
And again,
Olivier is online and he's trying to get into this.
Olivia, you can just send a request. If you're watching from your phone, you can easily see that. I had a problem because I was watching from my computer.
Yeah, so if using your phone, you use your phone, it will be better for that.
Yeah,
But while waiting for him, you can send your questions, ask questions, and we'll respond to you.
yeah.
While we're waiting for
If
him to come in, you can ask questions and we'll just um try to
right.
answer them. Yep.
If there's anything you're not clear with, forward your
Yeah.
questions. We are here now. We can answer your questions now.
Yeah. And I also want to emphasize we have a survey going on right now. It's on the site. After this video, I'll post it again so people can see. Please, it's just a 2 minute survey. Take it. It's for the needs assessment project, so we try to reach our goal.
I think
And
Olivier sent you a request. Check your screen, Elvira.
okay. I think I've said I've approved it. One second. I just approved the request, but I don't know why it's not coming on.
Yeah. So again, on cultural heritage, one thing I want to talk about is our dialect, the Akum dialect. That's what we need to use to stand out. I remember last summer while I was in the US, I was impressed by my uncle's kids. These are kids you cannot even tell that they live in the US. They speak the dialect well. At home, all what they speak with their parents is the dialect. When they go to school, when they're out with their friends, they can speak English. And I was so impressed. I'm like,
Maybe
this is something
you
we need
start.
to encourage.
Maybe you should continue in the dialect now. Start.
Everyone, why are you putting me on the spot? So, and the land gaps in the Bongla are very important. Oh my God. Abongla are very important. Kono chiboga a Germany, kana US, kana a China, are very, very important. Gonna Bongla. Yeah. I mean, what you did, sir, nigga, the scene is much more mona. But I could go on with some zoo, or getting use la Bongla. Mika can't want to understand, yeah?
I'm
When
not
I
sure
love
understand.
every other
I'm not sure
condition, your
understand.
turn. Your turn.
Ma abongna la shina la fu wa ba mache ndi grandmother la te majinga ochuzo uh English kind of pidgin kind of French fu wa ba ma bongna kazu bodanga fu ya so to song
Yeah.
la te mache baka mandi majinga te ma bongno pidgin abu singa o bongna de wala kanzu a so
Yeah.
abongna la I remember when I was young, the what I know now I used to speak with my dad. I'll go and ask for something in English, and he'll pretend like he can't understand. So I need to go back and ask from somebody, how do they say this in the dialect? Then I'll come back to him, I'll try, and that really helped a lot because I have cousins whose parents were from Akum, both of them, and they don't even do what try like I'm trying. So I try
Yeah.
speaking it when I have the chance. So when I call back home, everything I try speaking just in the dialect.
Yeah.
So keep sending
So
your questions. If you have any question, just
very important. Gonna learn up to the bone lamba. Very, very important. Very sad girl. You have to about to Germany or Ganmunda, Bobon at German. When I it's sad. Like we need to keep it alive, guys. We need to keep the dialect
okay.
alive. Don't
It
let
looks
it.
like it
I
looks
don't
like
know.
everything with AGN is 100% because people don't have questions.
People are not. I don't know. Come and ask for accountability. What? How much did you guys collect? What have you done with the money? That's the
Yeah,
questions we
we need you
want to
people to
answer.
ask us those questions.
This is time for change. It shouldn't be like any other organization where you just contribute your money. You're not curious to know what was done with the money. I mean,
Yes, yes,
Krista, do you want to join
Princess
in? I
Nana.
know you're.
It looks like you have
Can
to
you
go
please?
off, Julienne, before if you don't go
Oh,
off, Olivier will not be able to come on. So
okay. Let me check this. Let's see.
yeah, so
You have to remove me. I can't go off.
oh
Okay, now I've
really?
seen it.
So Olivier, please send your request again. Since Julienne is out now. Oh, okay. Madame Mulu is asking how much did you collect and what did you do with the money? So during the Akum convention in Minnesota, we we did t-shirt sales, and we had $1,200, but up till date we're still receiving donations from people, and it's, if I'm right, it's at 101,400 dollars, US dollars. And what we're doing is, this money, we're using this money for the needs assessment project. And how do we do this? This money is being used as motivation for the quarters, because each quarter, when we visit each quarter in Akum, we have to give the people maybe food or drinks, not too much, but something that will, it's a pull, it's a strategy that you help to bring people in rural communities together. Because I'm not saying, don't get this wrong, I'm not saying they don't have food, but I'm saying when people know that they'll go somewhere and they'll have something to eat and drink, it's it's really easier for them to go. But when you just call them and like, okay, let's have a meeting, they won't go. But if they know that when they come, at least they'll have something to eat, it's a pull factor. So that's what we're doing with the money, and we're also paying volunteers on the ground. Not paying, we're motivating them with lunch and transportation. And at the end, we'll still need money, because our budget for the whole project was 1.4 million, but we didn't even, I think we are half that now. So we'll still need money for analysis and everything. We're doing a website built now, so, but we're managing, it's going through. Olivier, I can't see your request, sorry, I can't see your request, but let me, okay, now it's in. So that's what we are doing. Ngiatse Eric, Amateo Ngia. Masina Majibongla. So his question is, you guys are encouraging us to teach our kids the dialect, whereas you guys can't even express yourselves in the dialect. Of course, I can express myself in the dialect. I can speak if I'm in a situation where nobody understands me in English or in Pidgin or whatever lingua franca. I can speak in the dialect. I speak the dialect 80% very well. So 80% I am good at. But now why we're speaking in English is because I know I'm living in a house with people who are from Akum who don't understand anything in Akum. So that is why we're speaking in English. And now we have Akum people married to people from other villages. So with this, they don't speak the dialect in the house, so they can't. The children are still part of Akum. So that's why we are not speaking in the dialect on this platform. But next time I see you, say Eric, I'll speak just the dialect with you. I don't know. Julienne, I think you're still in. I don't know what's happening. Okay, Olivia, I'm adding you now. When is the next fundraising? Mom is asking when is the next fundraising. Then now by the end of this month, we'll be running, our website will be live and running. So we'll be campaigning on our website, doing everything on our website and using the social media, Facebook. We don't have a project yet. We are still on the needs assessment phase. So after this project, we'll know the priorities of the people. Then we can do fundraising on a particular project. But as at now, our fundraising, whatever we get goes into this project because we don't have enough yet. Christelle, I can't see your question. Please, can you retype it again? You said you asked a question. Olivia, I don't know why it's taking so long for you to come, but it just indicated that adding on the screen. So, Crystal, can you retype your question again? Madame Mulu, you know the people I'm talking about, so I don't know what's happening. Please. Olivier, if you are not, I don't know, I think maybe your network might have a problem because it indicates on my screen adding. So you should check your network. Okay, you're in. Welcome. We can't hear you. Your volume. Check your volume, please. Okay, Christian just asked a question while you're adjusting your volume. I asked if you guys are also investing on road development. Yes, we're thinking about it, but we're not investing in it because we don't have the resources yet to do that. But it's something that it's a major problem to the entire community. So I think what I can tell you now is we're lobbying to see that. Okay, I can hear you, but it's breaking. Are you there? Can you hear me now?
Hello.
Okay, Olivier, welcome.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Before you
Okay.
continue, let me just
sorry about that.
finish responding to Christelle. I cannot tell you we're investing on road development now, but it's a sure fact that it's one of the problems the entire community is facing. But what I can tell you now is will be lobbying on how to get to the right people and support that our roads are well developed. As of now, that's all I can tell you. So, Olivier, you can continue.
Thank you, and welcome to everybody online. I'd like to start by saying congrats for everything you guys are doing out there. AGN is going the right direction. That's what I can say right now. AGN is the place to be. The best thing about it is that, let me introduce myself once more. I'm Olivier Chingambu from Ta'amandam. Manamun Ta'amandam, Mun Bakuma. AGN is an organization that brings people together. And the good thing about it is that it works from the grassroots. I have never in my lifetime as an Akum person, never seen any individual or any group that tackles the problem of the people by going from door to door, getting the problems from the grassroots, getting the problem from the horse's own mouth, and looking for solutions. So if you are an Akum person, sons and daughters, please, this is the moment where we have to come together and see what we can do about our people and our community. Elvira and Julienne, I want to say it's been great so far working with you guys, including those on the ground in Akum or in Cameroon. They're doing a fantastic job. Marking the second year of the AGN, this organization has done great things, even though it's just getting started. And coming from a place where I've been the president of the Akum Cultural Association, the Washington, D.C. branch, we have been through this before. And we just did, we've done several projects similar to what AGN is trying to do right now. And they've been successful, but I think that has not been enough. So this time around, we have an organization that is fully dedicated to working for its people. When I say fully dedicated, I mean we have patriots, fully enthusiastic sons and daughters of Akum who are willing to put everything they have, every energy they have to work for its people and make sure we empower our community, we empower our youth, we be it socially, be it culturally, be it in development, anything you can think about, infrastructure. That's why we are here. That's what this organization is for. I heard you guys talk about culture and other aspects of life and how the AGN is getting in touch with people from various walks of life. I think that's a good thing, and that's a better place to start at. So I just want to say this time around, let's really be serious. I'm talking about everybody inclusive. This is our community. This is our life. These are our children we're trying to bring up. These are our parents back home that we're trying to help. We're trying to lend a helping hand. Let's come together and do this as one people. We here in the USA, we are very diverse people, especially Akum people. We are willing to do something, but I think the problem we have is where to lean on to carry out whatever we are thinking about. So if we have an organization as the AGN, why not rally behind it and go forth? So that's why these dynamic ladies, Elvira and Julienne, came up with this organization, with this idea where we can do just that. I don't know if there's any questions that I can answer at this point. Then I'll go ahead.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. What I want to ask you is, I'll ask you the question, and so you answer, so other people can understand. How does, like, the Akum community or communities in the diaspora, how do they affect the common man in Akum? How do you make sure impact is felt? Because I know you do a lot to see that um, you do a lot to see that development fee is sent back home. Not even development fee, which is something everybody is obligated to do, but you also carry out projects on individual basis or on the group level, as maybe ACA, Akum Community USA, or Akum Community Germany, or Britain. How do you make sure the impact, what you do here, affects the layman in the community?
Well, that question has to be broken into parts. First of all, I will start with the part of the fees you're talking about, and by fees, I'll presume you're talking about probably the Kabbalah that we in the diaspora, or we in the USA in particular, we contribute. That fee is, I won't call it a fee. It's like an obligation by every Akum person. You are obliged to pay that fee, that amount, which goes to the development of the village. Whatever they do with it, we just know we have to contribute that amount and send it back home. And all we do at our level is facilitate the collection of the fees and send it back home with the names. And then the other part of your question is how our organization impacts the common man in Akum. I would take it from the perspective of the Akum Cultural Association, the ACA. Right now, I'm not in a position where I have a big, decision making in the organization. I'm a former president, but during my tenure, I used to coordinate with other members. We used to work collectively as one team in order to carry out projects back home. And the current government right now is doing just that. I think they have something in the making. They're working in the background to come up with something to follow that trend of activities. But while I was president, we, to give you an example, we carried out the No Child Left Behind project in Akum, which was very, very, very successful. By being successful, it's not like it was a very big project. It was a little project. It took us nothing to carry out that project, but the impact was felt back home. If you watch the video, which is online on YouTube, you can type No Child Left Behind ACA. You're going to watch it, see for yourself. The impact it had on those kids and their parents, it's what gives us the pleasure and the anxiety to go on. And when I see AGN fit in that category of people who want to lend a helping hand to impact the community and have people feel like they belong to a society, that really amazes me. And that's what we have to do. That's how we have to work. So generally speaking, the general body, the general committee of the Akum Cultural Association at its general level also has projects that it carries back home, and each individual state does something similar to that. But I was just talking in respect to what DC has been doing, and it all boils down to the same thing. You have different groups with a common goal. So I think if one day AGN can also work in partnership with the Akum cultural association for a common goal, which is to develop and educate its community, I think it's even going to be more. It's going to be better. So
Yeah,
I think
you've answered the question and you ended very well because I've had this question when this just started. People always ask me, "Are you here to take out our?" I'm like, "Really? I can't. If we can't even do that." So I've always struggled with this question because sometimes I try to explain it to people, and their main aim is always like, "No, you guys should attack our." And I tell them, AGN, we are not here to point at fingers at our, but we are pointing at areas that needs development. That is what we do in AGN. And
I think there's
with
one thing.
AGN,
Let me not cut you short.
sorry,
There's one
yeah,
thing people have to understand is that AGN is an individual and independent organization on its own. It has
yeah,
nothing to do with our or ACA. It's completely independent, but it works in let me not say in accordance. It works in participation with other organizations. It can work in partnership with other organizations. They can, they have similar ideas. They can share their projects or carry a common project together. But one organization doesn't impact the other.
yeah.
It has nothing to do. The agent is not here to control or overtake our. Our is not there to control or overtake on AGN. So they are two separate entities. They're two separate organizations, but they're working for the same goal.
Yeah, thank you. I don't need to throw more any light on that because you just nailed it. And I hope people get to understand, as you said, that AGN and our are separate entities, but can also and will likely work together because we have a common goal and we have a common people that we want to attend to. And people, I don't know, let me see a question. Like somebody just said, maybe some of our children can't express themselves in the dialect because there is no trained personnel. I wish to suggest to AGN to look into this problem and see how we can look forward to train personnels that will help improve on the dialect. And yeah, before this, we had already talked about that. And since you speak the dialect better, Olivier, and you're an older brother, I think you should answer the question.
Well, I read the comment by Eric Chair, a fellow brother. Well, I understand his intentions, and I heard your answer to that. He was correct, though. It just depends on the way he put it. We should try this. The fact that we live in the diaspora and we live abroad doesn't give us an excuse that we can't teach our children or kids the dialect, or we shouldn't speak in front of them. I know a lot of families who speak the dialect. Their kids even speak the Akum dialect very well. I've been to homes where kids speak the dialect. It's not a bad thing. You're just making the kids diverse, where they can go visit or they can go on vacation to Cameroon and fit in. It's that's what it all entails. And I also saw the part where he said if we can speak the dialect right here, we can encourage others to do same. It doesn't really matter. I try to speak to my level. I know I can speak to the understanding of people. If I speak, people can understand me. But I wouldn't say I'm perfect. I'm like 70%. But I know I'm good at it. But everybody's learning. We're learning every day. We all didn't have the opportunity to maybe grow in the village or grow up in a home where 70% of the time the parents or the family spoke the dialect. Most of us didn't have that opportunity, but we just kind of learned it on our own.
Yeah.
But it's a good idea that from time to time, we speak the dialect, especially to our kids, let them know the culture we come from, and maybe have the fun of being part of that culture. And I would like to talk also about, I read a comment from Mrs. Mulu Gerardine. Gerardine was talking about some years back when DC ACA sent a container of hospital equipment
yeah.
to, yeah, I'm just reading the comment right now. That's correct, but I'm not in a position of talking about that right now. But what she's saying is very correct. It's just part of the projects that we've carried back home. I think she's just trying to shine a light on what we've done so far. And it was a very big project, and it was very successful too. If you go to the Akum Health Center, I think it has a different name now. It's no longer the Akum Health Center. Uh, if you go there, especially the new building, the new section, most of the equipment in that hospital came from us, came from here. I went there personally and I saw them. I saw I know the inventory that we sent over there. So it was a very, very big project that we carried. That's just part of what we are doing. That's just part of what this is all about. And AGN is in for the same purpose. So, Madame Mulu, thank you for that reminder. And you are now in the new government, and you're doing a great job. Keep on, carrying the good job you're doing. Kudos to you and your team.
Okay, thank you for that as well. And I don't know, there are no more questions. People don't ask questions, which means we're on a good path. Because when people don't have questions to ask, either they are not interested, or they don't have, or there's nothing to question. But in this case, I want to believe there is nothing to question yet. So
That's
to
a
that,
better way to put it.
yet. And on this note also, I want to really call on us. Yesterday we have this our hashtag promote your own on our group right now. Yesterday, if you notice on our page, 3 Akum young people, musicians, they released their new songs. It was Shura, who did the Aledi, and Napsis.
Fontete.
Napsis, yeah, Napsis did the Crazy Love. Fontete did the Pray for Me. And it was like they were trying to break the internet in the Akum community yesterday, and they did, because I went on YouTube and I saw what the amount of views, and it was incredible. So I want to encourage us to keep supporting these people. These are people whom they support me as well. So what I'm doing, I'm just trying to make you support them, because I see what they are doing. I understand where their passion is coming from. Theirs is in the show business, and mine is in development and community work. So mine is not stylish, but theirs is it's stylish. Yeah.
Of course, we should support them.
Yeah.
I do personally. I do support them. I mean, everybody has their own way of supporting. Some people prefer to support in the background. Some people prefer to support publicly. But in one way or the other, we all do support them, and we encourage them to go, to keep striving and go further. Meanwhile, AGN is here for everybody. It doesn't matter what category of people you fall under. We are here to promote our own. I saw all the trends yesterday. I followed it up till this morning, and I mean, it's great. It's amazing, and the support from even back home is enormous.
Yeah.
And I'm just grateful and thankful to everybody who is behind this.
Yeah. So okay. Okay, somebody says you can teach just what you know. I think it's still related to the dialect issue. And also at this point, I want to emphasize again, please take the survey. The needs assessment survey on our page is super important. You take that survey, because it will help us, it will give us a better feedback on projects we need to do in Akum. And I think we've completed everything I wanted to talk about. And I just want to thank all of you for coming online, for watching our being with us for this live, our first live video. At the beginning, we had some problems, but it's